moving on. Man, I got some shows that y'all need to check out. All right.
You talking about like?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So Netflix, some documentaries. I love documentaries. Y'all love documentaries?
Yeah, I mean,
Bro, I could do a Netflix documentary, like any documentary like that. You know, I love documentaries. And right now, have you heard Painkiller?
I just had somebody tell me about that.
No. I know. What is that? Which one is that one?
Oxycontin.
Oh,
all right, like that. So
that's crazy.
You know,
bro.
it's the whole thing. Revolves around Oxycontin, and it's come up and stuff like that. The family. Go ahead and look up the family. It starts with an S. I can.
For the family.
Yeah, the family that created it.
They created Oxycontin.
Yeah, I want to say.
Hulu did like a dramatized version called Dope Sick. And
this one's dramatized too, so like it's all based on true events. They omitted names and stuff like that, and bro, it is good. It's a 6-part series, like that. It's super good. Edie Flowers is the lady that freaking brought everything down. That really
the Sackler brothers,
the Sacklers, the Sackler family, like that, and
that's crazy.
The lady from Orange is the New Black, the black lady.
Yeah.
I don't know her name the character's name in there like that, but she plays. She's the main character in this one. So and she's a great actor. Like that. She brought the whole thing with the Sacklers like that, because the Sacklers, before OxyContin came out, they had what was the drug before that? Why am I just finished watching this and I'm blinking on all this stuff. I don't want to say Valium. I want to say it was a different a drug. Maybe
it sounds like they're fucking
but they
addicts.
But the first guy, the founder of freaking of OxyContin.
Was it heroin?
Well, OxyContin is basically heroin
Yeah.
in the pill.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
wait,
100%.
what is it? I'm trying to think of the drug before. I don't know.
I'll probably
hold on.
I want to say no. It was Valium. It was Valium.
Valium?
They created Valium, and then
they're into opioids. It looks like.
And then they changed the chemistry of Valium and turned it into OxyContin and like that. And OxyContin wasn't it wasn't gonna be on the market like that at all, because their whole marketing behind that was freaking. They wanted a drug for people to use, not that wasn't related to death or cancer, like that, like what morphine was, like that, and they did all these little studies and stuff like that when they were coming up with the name, and this was their sole purpose, like we want to take your pain away, what I mean, and it was all about the vicious cycle of pain, like taking the pain away, like that, to make you happy, and then once you get happy and then you go back to depressed, you start to feel the pain, and so it's just a cycle, because like you ever go in the doctor's office like that, and they always have
the happy face.
That's exactly what it was, because when their drug was associated with 9 and 10, meaning that everything was very painful. You're about to die and stuff like that. They wanted related to the 4s and 5s and 6s. I mean, like, I have a headache. Well, here's some OxyContin. Like that. My back is killing me from work. Here's some OxyContin. Like that. And then before they knew it, it turned into this whole freaking opioid pandemic, like Bro, that. And people were getting hooked. And
so I'm looking at this. They call it Purdue Pharma.
Purdue Pharma. Yeah, Purdue Pharma.
Bro.
The Sackler brothers.
Everything that they have. Hydromorphine, oxycodone, fentanyl, codeine, hydrocodone. Bro, this is
they're literally
all of this is
drug.
Is highly abusive drugs.
And that was the thing about it, because
That's
freaking it was over the counter Schedule 2 drug. This is before a lot of like that, and for them to get across FDA approved and stuff like that, because there was one guy, all right, there was one doctor on the FDA board, like that was not approving it. And they went months, I think like years, freaking just, covering the guy and talking to him and stuff like that. And then finally they got the guy behind closed doors. Freaking the drug got approved. A year later, he quit his job, and guess who he was working for?
Who?
Purdue Pharma.
Oh.
Like that,
yeah.
You know, like that. You know, it was just what a coincidence. You know what I mean? This drug got approved. Now the guy that freaking approved it doesn't work no more. Now it works for the other side, like that. And so it was just a huge pandemic, you know, or epidemic of freaking of overly abused drugs and stuff like that. And man, it's an eye opener. You know, I mean, from the stress, the anxiety, the depression that people were just using this stuff and got hooked, and you know, eventually a lot of them, you know, died. I think, man, I wanted to say it was like
they've got a ton of lawsuits.
Yeah.
They got a ton of lawsuits.
You know, like that. And then at the end of the movie, freaking or the documentary and stuff like that, where it was even crazier. All right, if you had to guess how many people freaking went to jail after finding being guilty,
Nobody.
Paid a freaking hefty fine that didn't even fucking matter to them. You know what I mean? Like that. And they were still able to sell and make and sell the drugs still after it went all the way up to
because once they get so big, bro, there's too many people. There's too many. I mean, you if you think about folding one of the biggest drug manufacturers in the nation, that's not just gonna like, yeah, it'll kill the people at the company. But think about what the stock market's about to do.
And this right here probably, you know, freaking really get under your skin too, because at the end too, the defense, who's the defense? It would be them, right? Or
they'd be defending.
So then, what is your side called?
The prosecutors.
The prosecutors. All right. The prosecutors you know, they had everything. They had the smoking gun, the bullet, the dead body, and the hand that was holding the gun. Bro, there is no reason that all these motherfuckers should have went down and went to jail and fucking lost everything. All right? Prosecution freaking settled and made a deal. Why? It was a cliffhanger on that one, like that. And the lady that Edie Flowers, the main character, that was the did all the tons of years of research and everything to freaking you know, finally bring it up to Congress, and you know, and take it up to court and stuff like that. Freaking, you know, she was like, what? She was so blindsided, you know what I mean? Like that, because you know, her the attorney that she was working with, like that, freaking settled. Like that, and
a $4.5 billion U.S. settlement plan
didn't even scratch the surface of what they were really making. You know what I mean? $4.5 billion. And they were saying that if you can guess how much a week they were making, bro, I'm talking about Pablo Escobar money, bro. No, 30, like I think either 30 or $300 million.
It's not.
A week.
My brain can't even wrap around that. No.
They were literally rivaling Pablo Escobar. You know, just the only thing is that they got, you know, freaking white collars, they got suit and ties like that. So hey, you know what? It is legal. You know what I mean? It was just so crazy, man. Honestly, that one right there for sure. You know, you will binge that, all 6 of them, all night if you go watch it.
Doing it.
And then the next one, because I watched that one and immediately it was like, oh, we recommend this one. It's called Take Your Pills.
Oh my God!
All right, Xanax.
Okay,
right? Like that. You've heard of Xanax, right? Like that. So this one, you know, this is gonna segue right into our next topic, like that, and I think it's a great way, you know, like that. And this one, you know, it's a whole, you know, like, cause like, you know, you get waves of these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right, it was oxycodone, then, you know, you got some perks, and then you got some Xanax. You know, before that, Valium was the very first thing.
It was, yeah.
You know, you know why Valium was created? You know, Valium was created just, you know, for the stay-at-home mom, because this was in, like, you know, you're talking about the early, you know, 30s, 40s, and 50s, where, you know, the wife would just stay at home. That's it. The guy would work, you know, because at that time you can live off of just a single income,
right?
You know, household like that. So she didn't have to work, and so these at-home, you know, these at-home moms and stuff like that, you know, freaking all day just, you know, doing nothing and just depressed because, you know, they have no purpose of really living, you know, like that, and just taking care of the job, cooking and cleaning like that, and waiting for your husband to come home, you know, whatever like that. So they're like, oh, here's a pill, make you happy. You know what I mean? Like that. And so, you know, so that's why you always have that stigmatism or that meme surrounding, you know, at-home moms that are always drinking, you know, and, you know, feeling drugs like God damn, it's 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. You're,
right.
you know, you're already on your second bottle of wine, like that. Yeah, and volume was, you know, was created for them, you know, like that, you know, and it was crazy too because, you know, on this Take Your Pills, they go back to it and talk about it like that because it was just a common thing to always have on you. You know what I mean? Just like ibuprofen. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It was one of, you know, that was the thing like that. You know, how many times you were like, hey, man, you got to, you know, might have a headache. You got Advil or ibuprofen.
Right.
Like that. You know, it was a common thing like that. It wasn't even that. It was like, hey, you got a volume on you. You know, and this is a fucking drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. And so they were talking about that. And it was just, you know, and now today, how strongly is abused in college, you know, in students and stuff like that with anxiety or, you know, in the workplace, you know, like mm-hmm. that. Maybe trying to perform, you know, perform high, you know, level or whatever it is like that. And, you know, how, you know, you're trying to just beat the anxiety, depression, you know, or whatever it is like that. And, you know, that we're talking about that as well. So, you know, two things, you know, you want to go down the rabbit hole of freaking how crazy, you know, the drug.
You know, it's so weird because it's when you look at the origin of the drugs and how they make the derivative of these opioids is opium.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. You see what opium does to people. Mm-hmm. Like you see what it does to people.
Yeah.
So why do you want to make a derivative of it? Like, oh no, this will be a much smaller dose. But like, bro, stop.
I'll tell you a personal story of mine. All right. So Afghanistan, I did 9 months in Afghanistan. All right, like that, and I was into shit. You know what I mean? And I heard this one story that, you know, there was this infantry unit that went out. All right. Where we were based at and stuff like that, and we got all our supply, you know, like that. All our supply was shipped to our base, you know, from locals, like that.
Right.
All right, and then once they shipped it to us, all right, then we'll take it over, and then everything was handled by civilians, contractors, or military, you know, personnel, like that. But getting it to us was all shipped by locals, like that. You know, the amount of people, you know, these locals that are, you know, like when you're seeing them in the truck lot, you know, just waiting for them to get their truck unloaded and stuff like that, they would just be chilling, you know, just always suckling or chewing on these poppy seeds and stuff like that. All the time, or hashish, you know, like that. Right. You know, like that. They will always have a block of it and stuff like that. You know, these guys will always be, you know, in some type of constant high, you know, while they're just chilling. You know, that you know, and it was in the motherland. That's where it is in Afghanistan, the motherland of opioids. You know, like right. that. You know, and so I remember hearing a story. You know, talk about what an opiate does to you. All right, these guys would be so fucking high on these opiates. You know, on the plant itself and stuff like that. And this guy would, you know, told me, he was like, man, you know, freaking these one guys, so they were in a firefight, you know, like that. He saw this one guy coming at him, shot him. Bro, popped back up like nothing even happened, you know, and then freaking was firing back at him, and then he had to shoot, and then obviously had to shoot him, you know, in the head.
Like head down, yeah.
To freaking neutralize him, you know, like that. And it's like, you're telling me the shit that makes someone do that is now, you know, giving over the counter, you know, just to teenagers because, you know, freaking they hurt their knee or like that, or because, you know, this at-home mom headache is hurting like that. Like, that is crazy to
bro,
think of.
I don't understand it. Mm-hmm. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make sense to me at all. And then they're always, cause like right now, the big, you know, the fentanyl's going crazy.
Yeah.
You've seen that drug they got in Philly, right?
I was about to say, I've been seeing that neighborhood, Kensington or whatever. I don't know what it is. In Philly, where it's nothing but drug addict, and they're
bro. These people are tipped
zombies.
over, bro. Mm-hmm. Like people just standing in the street, like clock back and not even fucking moving.
Well, let's go back to the Xanax one, that Take Your Pills, because, you know, that's where fentanyl was really introduced into the public, because they were replicating Xanax, but they were cutting it with fentanyl. All right, and everybody, you know, they even showed this machine that people can just buy that mixes it, and cuts is like that. And then the reason that you have all these deaths from fentanyl is because they can't really tell how much of a dosage was like that. Obviously you kind of want to cut it in half and half, and you'll be fine or whatever like that, but they couldn't tell. But maybe it was like 80-20, 80% fentanyl and 20% freaking Xanax, like that, and they just cut it way wrong, and then freaking they were having all these things for that, and they talk about that in that Take Your Pill documentary as well.
That was cut good. I mean, it's simple. Cutting dope has always been like the way.
Yeah,
it's always been the way.
You gotta stretch it out.
You gotta stretch it out. You gotta make more money. You gotta make more money. But then even when they were stretching coke, you stretch the coke with baby powder. You stretch the
baking
coke
soda
with baking soda.
Like that. Yeah.
But then you dilute the high. So now in order to do that, let me find something more potent.
Yep.
So I can use less of it, stretch it, but still make it and then
it's a whole thing,
bro. I just don't understand. I just don't understand how. I don't understand how the FDA lets people get away with it.
So their whole argument. So going back to Purdue Pharma, their whole argument was we're just manufacturing a drug, whatever, once it gets sold or out of our hands and we sell it, gets it sold out like that, you can't blame us for junkies or people abusing it and stuff like that.
And that's where the FDA,
it's a very fine line.
That's where the FDA should be like, look, because Lynn, you're probably too young to remember this. Oh, E, you're probably too young to remember this too. But there used to be a song when I was growing up, and it was called "Your Mama's on Crack Rock."
Yeah, I haven't heard that one. I've heard a lot of crazy songs.
The song with "Your Mama's on Crack Rock."
And no, I've heard that one.
Right. And this was like early '90s, right? It's like early '90s.
Is that Ghetto Boys or?
I don't remember who it is.
I do. I remember. I do.
Your
remember,
mama's on crack. It'd be little kids saying that. So we were little kids, and you were hearing people say like being a crackhead was like it was an insult. Like you were insulting people on crack. So people still use drugs, and then you're like, but how are people still like somebody right now? As we're doing this, somebody's trying crack for the first time right now. Like 40 years later, you're like, right, like you got to be nuts. Like, how are you still doing this? But when you look at like Big Pharma, it's because where the money comes from in the FDA, they're like, look, that this stuff is derived from opium, or it's man-made opium, which I'm going to say is even worse.
Worse, yeah. The chemicals and stuff like that.
I'm going to say it's even worse. If you know that that's what's going on and you go, well, they're just selling it, but we're not going to, I mean, you're right. It's not their fault. It's like, no, you're letting people pump this out into the stream, and that there are people have dependencies. They get addicted to stuff, and you've got something that already shows. Now you don't see, and I've never seen anybody that's get like wasted off their mind off of Flintstone fucking vitamins, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they're just like, man, I need some of those vitamin D gummies. Like you don't see that shit at all. But I mean, FDA says it's fine. So figure out another way to let people go through. It's because
they're just obviously ridiculous amount of money in it.
Money,
and that's what it was. That's the whole story about in this documentary for Painkillers like that. Like that family did not give a fuck. All right, he was just money hungry. All right, when they were only dealing with volume.
The Leo guy.
Who?
The Xanax guy?
No. This I'm talking about Purdue Pharma.
Oh,
the family for Purdue Pharma. Yeah, like that. Like they didn't give a shit. Like that. That dude like literally just was money hungry. Like that. He took his multi-million-dollar business for Purdue Pharma when it was just messing with volume to $1 billion freaking thing like that. And because once the founder died, it went off to the grandson, and he took it to a next level like that. And it was all marketing around freaking pain and pleasure, like that. We're gonna take your pain and you're gonna be pleasure, and like they just played into people's emotions, and then they played the whole card of just oh, you got a headache, here you go, here now you're you can be in play like that. Like it was just the marketing that they put into it was just ridiculous, man.
Bro, marketing they put into all drugs is like that. Now same genre, but step aside. How many of these commercials have you seen on TV for drugs?
That is on all the time.
Bro, and
everybody looks so happy.
Everybody looks happy, and they're all like, you only have to take this pill, twice a month.
Twice a month.
But then, like, you listen to the side effects, like, may cause explosive diarrhea, may cause your toe.
And everybody's laughing, tossing balls.
They're
taking pictures.
They're like, you're supposed to take this for depression, but stop it if it causes suicidal thoughts.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Exactly.
I like SNL. I love SNL when they like make like stupid little skits like that and shit. Like,
I can't with this shit. It's like I don't know, man. I have a real, I don't know, man. The FDA, man. They need to step up because they're funneling people in. They're funneling things in to mainstream society, and even if you get, medical grade fentanyl, medical grade this, but you take enough medical grade,
this
and
shit's
now
gonna kill you.
Now you're high as a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's still gonna kill you. Yeah, I strongly recommend watch it. I think it's a real eye opener. It's like man, it's a good one. Like that. Who's the actor? God, man, I always forget his name too, man. The freaking Ferris Bueller.
Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, he plays it. He's the great grandson that took it OxyContin to the next level, and he's a good one. I like him. Man. He's one of my favorite actors.
War Games the other day.
He's in there.
Yeah.
War Games.
Yeah. War Games was from the 80s, bro.
80s,
bro. War Game. Matthew Broderick was a high school kid in the 80s. Hacked into the U.S. Defense mainframe, and was teaching the computer basically how to play, like how to go to war. And so the computer starts contemplating all these strategies on how to win a war. Like, how do we win a nuclear war? That doesn't sound
familiar to me. I'm big.
How to win a nuclear war. And then the computer Jarvis is, I can't remember the computer's name. But he goes through and he teaches the computer, and the computer starts synthesizing all these war scenarios with nuclear wars. And like so the people are all in the Pentagon and shit. They're looking at like, who launched the missiles? Who launched them? Because the computer's just playing the game, right? Yeah. And then at the end, they're like, oh, it's about to make contact. And then the game's like, the computer's like, yeah, there's nobody that's ever gonna win this. Like, y'all want to play chess instead? And it's a crazy game, but it's just like this high school computer hack. It's a crazy movie because of course if you watch it now, you're like, come on. But it's a good movie, man. It's one of my favorite movies. War Games, Matthew Broderick. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, you have got to.
It's always something new, man.
No. It's just an opioid. So they have on the streets in like Philly, bro. They have an opioid overdose kit that they like put on like.
That's in like they're
street signs.
Well, California started it, and like a lot of other freaking people started adopting it, where they have all these clinics that you can go in and just get clean needles and stuff like that. Yeah. So you could shoot up and do your heroin, whatever it is, like and here's some condoms too, like it's just crazy.
A little pack.
Yeah. Here's a little gift, man. You got your needles, you got your spoon, you got your cotton, you got you got your alcohol rub, you got your condoms on like that. Like, what kind of freaking gift basket is this?
On the one hand, you're like,
a drug addict dream.
It's a bachelorette party.
Yeah.
On the one hand, you think to yourself, you're not gonna stop people from doing it,
right?
Right, because there's always going to be people that are going to be depressed. There's always going to be people looking to self-medicate. They don't know the right way. That's always going to be a thing. But then on the other end, you're like, but if I just put it there, am I begging for it to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's literally like, all right, a recovering alcoholic, why are you going to just freaking, like, hey, Lynn, let's go out. Let's go hang out at the bar. I know you're not drinking, but I want a friend to be with me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Watch me drink.
Hey, watch me drink. You know what I mean? Like, no, I know you're over, but you're my friend. I'm like, why are you gonna do that?
Exactly. Here's a lemonade.
Yeah. It's it's like those, how you like those shows where. It's like a sting and stuff like that, where the car is cracked open and in broad daylight like that in a bad neighborhood. Wow. Of course someone's gonna walk up and freaking get in there and see what's up, and then
like the doors locked, the bait cards and shit.
Okay, come on now, like just get rid of it all together. You know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind. Freaking.
I 100% believe that's the way.
Like that. You know, so I don't really, like that. I think it's a great thing, but let's go and